Hello and welcome to Tides of Change. If you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to keep updated with my videos. If you're coming back, welcome back. I just want to say thank you to all of my supporters, my viewers, for your likes, shares, your comments, your subscribes. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Every one of your likes helps my page grow, and then it helps get this word out to more people. So if you feel that what I am doing is jiving for you and can help others, then please, I implore you to please smash that like button and hit the subscribe. And if you feel inclined to sharing this to somebody today, please share this. So today, I'm not doing a reading today. I am going to be going over some content that I have written over on my website over at www.tidesofchange.net. And today we are going to be going over an article called The Soul Will Weep for You to Listen. And the whole point of me bringing out these articles, I don't know what's going on here. Sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. My camera was being all weird. Sorry. All right, anyways, so today I'm going to be reading The Soul Will Weep for You to Listen. And with this, your soul may communicate heavy pains to you through your emotional body. You may feel like you're drowning in your emotions, which give off that feeling of suffocation, right? So today I kind of want to touch base about that, and that is why I wrote this article, just to kind of help people out. So I'm going to read through this article, and as I read through this article today, I'm going to stop at key points where I feel it is important to elaborate and go into a little more layman's terms regarding to what it is that has been written for my audience. So I'm just going to jump right into it. In the deep abyss, it feels hollow and domineering, especially when you are using metaphor to express the functions of your own soul and the pains it carries inside of it. The energy that scratches its way to the surface may feel suffocating through the turbulent vibrations of painful emotions, some in which you may have zero recollection of, as it stems from the soul's journey and not the human vessel. See past life content for deeper understanding. So I did write an article in regards to past life information. So if you're wanting to know a little bit more in regards to what it is that your soul is really speaking to you and what it might be highlighting for you, I really recommend going and checking out that article. So it's as if you are mourning for your soul's painful experiences, as these pains are a reminder of the powerful lessons to learn from, which aid in building the blueprint of your toolbox, which was created as an energetic instruction and manual for the human body to absorb the information the soul is transmitting to the body. So, what do I mean by this? Okay, so your soul is going to cry to you at times, right? And it's going to give you reminders, especially during moments where you might be feeling some animosity towards a situation or where you might feel a little triggered. Your soul will give you little keys, little key notes, little insights, and it gives you those niggles, those nudges, right? And sometimes it causes us to be triggered. Sometimes it'll cause us to go into our little hermit mode where we don't want to really social with anybody. It really honestly depends. So what happens is we send out an echo, a vibration, and that echo, that vibration is transmitted outward, and then we end up getting that echo, that vibration back. And sometimes we feel it in our soul before we feel it in the physical 3D. So that's really what that's explaining. For examples on soul to body conversation through expression and vibration, please read my Soul Food Through Music and How It Heals You article. That was a beautiful article, and I cannot wait to share that one with my audience, because music is soul food. It really is. And when we're listening to music, it's like You could be in an angry place, and listening to some of your favorite music can help kind of lower and elevate those moods, right? So whether you're angry, sad, alone, whatever your emotions might be feeding you in that moment, whatever you are transmitting in that moment, um, with music can help kind of aid in a balance, in a calm. Now, it really depends on the music that you're listening to, because I mean, we don't want to listen to aggressive music if we're already angry, because it's just going to make you even more angry. But say you're going to be going to, say, a concert or something, right? You want to listen to more of a like pumped, upbeat music. Obviously, you're going to be wanting to listen to the music that you're going to see the concert for, but the point of it is that you're feeding your soul, which your soul is crying for you to feed it, right? And sometimes the human body doesn't have that understanding. The subconscious, however, can guide you, and it's a matter of following that intuitive nudge, that intuitive pull that your soul is shifting you to see. And like I said, that's where those triggers and stuff can come in. So really pay attention and discern with your own moods and your own emotions when things like that come up for you, right? Especially with your own soul, because your soul will speak to you in ways that you may not actually really understand in human form. You need to break it down into a different type of language, in a more energetic kind of language. We all encounter the stagnation phases of our journeys through our ascension process. This is an infinite experience, believe it or not. So stagnation, yes, it can be an infinite experience. It can feel like it's never ending. It can feel like it's everlasting, based upon your own perspective and how you are viewing your environment, how you're viewing the world, right? And it really boils down to your ego of all of those things, right? Is a lot of people tend to look at things as, what can I get for myself? Or they're looking at it as, why is this happening to me? Right? And I'm not going to be able to take credit for that one. I'm going to have to give that one to Tony Robbins for his whole, why is this happening to me? And then correcting it and going, what is happening for me? What is happening for me? And that's where that perspective shift comes into place, right? You shift and you see it. So you go from being a pessimist to an optimist, right? And I'm guilty of that myself. I was a pessimist for a very long time. Now I'm really, really pushing to be in that optimistic place, which is why I want to share this information with you guys. So I'm just going to keep moving forward here with this. Even in death, we are still a living soul existing in the orbits. The one daunting thing, however, which ties to the transformation, your death and rebirth, is the acceptance and willpower to understand as well as surrender to the journey. So, whatever's taking place before you, just understand that you are literally only in control of yourself. You are not in control of other people, places, or things, right? You are literally only in control of you, your thoughts and your emotions, and how you react, and your projections, and your actions, and your moods, and your words. Those things are in your hands and your hands alone. And that's where we have to take ownership and ownership and accountability. Sorry. So yeah, we often forget that our soul is constantly transforming. Every single lesson we are encountered with breaks us down and builds us up so that we can transform, just as death would come knocking. So as you'll notice, and I'm really going to highlight this, and maybe I'll be planting a seed for somebody here, is you've made it this far in your life. How many times have you gone through a transformation where you have literally shed the old version of yourself to come into a new version of you? I can guarantee you've done it many times over, which has brought you here today while you are listening to this. So remember that every single situation that you are faced with, no matter whether it's good or bad, you have the self-mastery to decide for yourself on how you're going to transform that energy. Are you going to stay stagnant? Or are you going to shift your perspective and transform it and surrender to the change that needs to take place for you, right? That's what that boils down to. There I go again, using metaphor. Relax. I assure you, there are no literal deaths in this thread. Unless this is what you are navigating through, then on that note, take what resonates for your journey and leave the rest. Much like I would say in any of my tarot readings. Yes, I do tarot for anybody that is watching that has not seen my tarot readings. I do tarot and oracle. I am an energy reader. Side note, if you are looking for a reading, just let me know in the comment section below. I can leave my email address for you to also communicate with me. I am pretty quick on my responses. However, if I'm not, it's because I'm in the middle of something. Anyways, enough about me and enough about that. We can chat about that. We can chat about my bio in another time, though. Let's get back to the content, shall we? Precisely. It is a normal experience to face a stagnant place in your life. Usually, when we reach a point of stagnation, that is our soul's way of communicating to us that it is time to transform this energy. Just like I was saying, anytime you start feeling a stagnant energy where things just don't feel like they're moving, growing, going anywhere, you don't feel like you're learning anything from it, you feel like everything's just kind of blah and at a standstill, hang tight, because chances are you're in the middle of transformation. And when you transform, it's an ugly process. There's nothing pretty or comfortable about a transformation. It's confusing. It's ugly. It's messy. You know, you're looking into your shadows of yourself, and sometimes those shadows of ourselves are things that we really have a hard time authentically expressing outward to the world, because when we look at those sides of ourselves, those are sides of ourselves that other people's criticize. They judge us for those things, right? So we always hold them and we bury them deep down inside of us, and then we just let them stay there and collect goo and residue, and then they can, you know, turn into an infection, and then they start pussing and oozing, and next thing you know, you have no choice but to dive deep and cut those cords and really puke it out, right? And I mean, it's not a nice process. Transformation is ugly. It's sticky. There's nothing beautiful about it except for the end. You know, when you've shed that layer of skin, when you've shed that old version of yourself, you have to remember you're going through a grieving process, right? You are grieving that old version of you. And when we grieve, we don't feel so good. And when we're not feeling so good, we're tapping into that shadow part of ourself. That side that we hide from the world is the side that we're in. And that's how we learn how to transmute whatever it is that we have just transformed, right? And that's what brings in that new energy. That's what brings in all of the new opportunities for you, as long as you are in that state of perspective where you are seeing things from an optimistic state of mind, understanding that death and rebirth is the shedding of something old and false to bring in something new and authentic for yourself, something that matches your vibrations based upon what you're transmitting at this time. What is your soul transmitting? So there is nothing. Okay, so just like I was saying here, usually when we reach a point of stagnation, that is our soul's way of communicating to us that it is time to transform this energy, like I was saying, as there is nothing left to learn from it. Or it is a wake-up call to see what has ended so you can accept it for what it is, as something is trying to move into your environment and into your energy, but can't until you have gone through the stages of transformation. So even when we're going through our transformation, we need to remember when we're manifesting things and we want to bring things in, and we're going through that release and we're letting things go. The reason why we and like the moon cycles are a perfect example for that. Why people go through those lunar cycles where, you know, during a new moon process, manifestations come in, full moon process, you're clearing the energy out, right? It's like it's really setting in motion what you want, how you want it, and transmitting that energy from your soul outward into the universe, right? Into that realm, that spiritual realm where spirit exists, right? So that the angels and so spirit and whoever you go to, pray to, whatever it is, you're reaching that marker and you're getting your message out, right? And it's being heard. But the thing is while it's being heard, there is no action that is going to be taken until you take action, which means you need to dissolve the things that no longer serve your highest good so you can make room for those manifestations to come in. Otherwise, you're not going to have a manifestation fulfillment. So you need to accept when something must fade so that something can come in and grow, right? So if things aren't growing for you right now, pay attention to what it is that you might need to accept as change in regards to transforming your energies and your life and your environment, and who you might allow in and what you might allow in and where you might be allowing yourself to be, right? If you want to replace the energies tied to the stagnation, you must first learn from what has taken place before you can even consider moving on. Otherwise, you will be met with the same energy until you take the time to properly navigate through the entirety of the scenario. By this, I am referring to your own wants, needs, and desires. This is when you will need to undergo the process of shadow work, which I touch base on and explain through other content articles published. Browse the site and feel free to check it out for yourself. So I did touch base on shadow work with you just now. I also did touch base in regards to how energy is fluid. You cannot have a hollow space. You cannot release energy and have a void there. It needs to be filled. So when that's through that manifestation, when you are releasing and you're bringing something in of equal value, but it is of good, and it is of light instead of dark, right? You're releasing the things that are dark so that you can bring things in that are light. And that's a part of that duality, but you're not going to understand that duality until you understand the lesson and what it is that you're releasing based upon whatever that is that has transformed you. At the end of the day, your soul is communicating to you through that niggle, that feeling, that hunch, just as I was reciting to you in regards to your soul speaking, and you're transmitting that energy, and your soul is transmitting it to you, right? It's transmitting it to that human mind and your heart so that you can then transmit that emotional energy outward so that you can set the proper intentions based upon your energetic frequencies and that echo, right? Regardless of how we feel how you feel the communication, there is nothing quite like the energy you will feel when your soul speaks to you. And there couldn't be anything more mind-blowing than that, because when your soul speaks to you and you actually listen, that's when you tap into the raw, beautiful potential, that untapped potential within you. You are starting to tap into it because you are listening to your soul's cries, right? You could have found yourself falling for someone who was never good for you or your growth, or at least at that time, but your soul screams to you through emotions, through emotion and body reactions to sever you. You have no choice but to sit and listen. Sometimes we need to wake up, and sometimes we need a wake-up call. Chime in or miss out type of energy to explain to us which opportunities may be presenting them to us so that we can make the choices for our growth. So really chiming in, your soul could be telling you something about somebody and you could be ignoring that because of your ego. You're looking at things from all of the wrong perspectives. The best way that I can really explain that would be like in tarot, for the minor arcana with the Four of Cups, for example, right? With the Four of Cups, right? Like that's boredom, but that's also paying attention to all of the cups that have fallen and not paying attention to the one cup that is standing, that is in front of you, that you might be taking advantage of, that you might be taking for granted. All of the things that are in front of you that you should be blessed by, right? Sometimes we need to give a little bit more gratitude, and sometimes we need to not be so hard on ourselves when our soul is speaking to us. And sometimes we need to just surrender to what the soul is speaking and just flow with it. Just flow with what your soul is showing and carrying for you, because it's guiding you to a new way of thinking and being. It's guiding you to a new perspective. It's shifting, it's elevating you, it's ascending you to a higher state of awareness and consciousness, as long as you're willing to listen to it. So, I mean, if your heart won't stop pounding out of your chest whenever you're around a certain individual, or the eye contact couldn't be broken by a tornado. Your soul may be telling you something huge about this connection. Don't deny your heart the right to explore it. Now, with that one, you need to use your discernment with that, because people come into our lives for reasons. And sometimes we have very strong soul ties to people based upon past life tendencies, past life experiences, contracts, promises that were made. And when we meet them in this lifetime, it can come as a shell shock to us. When we meet that person, it's as if we've always known them our whole life, and it's like we know everything about them. But the thing is there is a difference between somebody that you have a soul contract with based upon karmic debt, and somebody that you have a soul contract with based upon a soulmate connection, or a deeper connection, a more intense connection, which would be the twin flame dynamic. Now, I do touch base on the twin flame dynamic in one of my other articles there, in regards to knowing how much energy, is too much to give to another. Feel free to go and check out the site. There's a ton of content there for people and my viewers to be able to go and check out, to kind of get a better understanding for possibly what is taking place for them. So it really depends. Like, really pay attention to what your soul is telling you about somebody. When you're looking into their eyes, what is your body telling you? What is your body expressing to you about what your energy is vibrating when you look at them? And is it possible to break that eye contact? Or is it one of those things when it's just like an overly extended stare into each other's eyes, where it's like you're reading into each other's soul? Really pay attention, because you could be missing the marker on an opportunity that could be a lifelong endeavor. It could be one of your best friends, and this could be somebody that could be, a partner for you, pertaining to something much bigger than you understand right now. And I will say this, when it comes to the twin flame dynamic, I need to be very clear that with that dynamic, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Listen to what it is that your soul is telling you, because, like I said, with that dynamic, it is much bigger than the human mind can comprehend. The mission that you have and your beloved have go much deeper than what your ego mind could ever wrap its head around. Hence the reason why it's so important to surrender. And what do I mean by surrender? You need to shed that ego completely. You cannot have expectations and come into a dynamic like that with conditions. Any type of conditions will break it and just shift you apart. That dynamic is so much different, but I'm not going to get into that in this video today. I want to get into the whole concept of what your soul is speaking to you, and how to be able to pay attention to what it's speaking to you, and paying attention to the signs, the synchronicities, what your heart tells you, what your body's telling you, what the vibrations tell you. Those are based upon intentions. What are your intentions, and what are the intentions you're feeling, right? So, every experience we face is either a lesson or a blessing. And that goes with that soulmate contract, right? Soulmates come and go. Everything has an expiration date. So do keep that in mind, right? Karmic contracts. Some things need to be closed out. And if it's being brought to your attention, that means you were chosen to close that cycle out. All right? So please bear in mind with those things, because your soul speaks to you on things that you may not understand quite yet. Often we miss opportunities based upon ignoring our soul's cries for help. We may be caught up with the distractions tending to a list of mundane responsibilities, depleting the energy associated with our self-care practices, which explains why you may miss incredible experiences for growth. While you may have missed the opportunity on this one, you will always encounter many more opportunities. So don't be so hard on yourself. You're only growing as much as you're capable of, and what you're willing to comprehend, and how much you are willing to be open to receiving the information, and what your lessons are, and how much you have learned. And remember, we are all on this path, walking a very unique journey on our own time. And remember, there is no such thing as time or space, all right? Time and space resides in the 3D matrix. The soul does not resonate with time nor space. It just simply exists as energy. You may not experience it the same way as you would have expected. However, expectations do lead to disappointments, which can leave you so broken and bitter you become resentful, and nobody wants to place themselves in a deep hole like resentment. So, the next time your soul speaks to you, listen up, as you may just miss that golden opportunity to receive which you deserve in good standing. So, like I said, transformation is ugly yet beautiful, daunting yet relieving, scorning yet glorious. Transformation is a part of change, which is constant and inevitable. So, I really hope that this gives some people some insight today in regards to your soul and how your own energy speaks to you. Now, some good ways and techniques to be able to get in and tap into your soul's communication towards you would be finding a quiet place, a place where there's no distractions, nobody can distract you, a place where you can just quiet the mind, you know, a place where you can just shut everything down and just listen in. You can listen in through meditation. You can listen to some binaural beats to calm the self, soothe the soul, so that you can find yourself in a nice, relaxed space to be able to open yourself up. And when you open yourself up to your subconscious, your higher self, your guides, your own soul will speak to you. Spirit will speak to you. Angels will speak to you. And if you are a beloved, you might hear something from your beloved as well. So, we have a wasp around. It's November, you guys. These things should be gone by now. Shouldn't they? Like, die already. Sorry, I'm sitting here talking about peace and all of this lovely, humble, harmony and calmness. And then I'm like, die, wasp, die. Oh, man. Okay, so the soul will weep if you listen. And what does the soul weep? The soul weeps for change, especially if you're feeling stagnant. And if you've come across this today and you're feeling stagnant, lost, stuck, feel like you can't move forward, pay attention, use your discernment. What might you need to be transforming? What might need to be transmuted regarding to shadows? Pay attention to what it is your soul is telling you. What changes need to happen for you in your environment? I love you guys so much, and I appreciate all of the support from you guys. Please smash that like button down there. Subscribe if you haven't already and you want to stay up to date with future videos like this and you like this content. This helps me help my page grow, and this also helps you. And this helps other people. This is a pay it forward type of thing. People helping people, right? I want to see growth from others, and the only way to do that is to bring myself out here and show you guys what I do. And while I might sit and hide behind a computer screen and type all day and, use my imagination and put them into words so that my viewers can read them, I do like to elaborate, and I do like to get behind the camera, and I do like to speak. I am also offering 6 sessions right now for spiritual life coach practice. So if you're looking for some coaching sessions right now, I'm offering 6 sessions for $120 right now. Very cheap. That's basically $20 a session. So awesome deal. And this just helps you build a better relationship with yourself. And then we can expand it further so that you can help aid in building healthy relationships with other people. And by first building a healthy relationship with yourself, you're opening the doors to a lot of things for yourself. Transformation, for example, might come a little bit easier for you. Anyways, if you like the content, like I said, give me some love, show me some love, and I will see you guys next time. I will put all of my information in regards to my site, as well as the link to this specific article. I will put that in the description box down below. I will also put my email down there as well if anybody is interested in private energetic reading. I do card readings. And if you're also interested in a coaching session, 6 coaching sessions for $120, you can just follow the links down below in the description box there, you guys. All right. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.